Okay, so we actually finished the first question. So it's up to you if you want to save the data set. I don't think I need that, so I will type clear. Okay, then we say goodbye to the first data set, and then we can do a revision questions. Question number 2, we have to open another data set. Data file number 2, and then the data comes from the 2007 labor force survey. The actual sample size is actually 100,000, but I only randomly extract 5,000 observations. So let's open starter file, data file number 2. Okay. So we have earnings, age, province, age, I suppose it is a typo error, it should be race, and then gender. Let's do a summary combine, sum, indeed 5,000 observations. Okay, 2.1, indeed the race variable was named incorrectly as age, so correct the mistake. So it means I want to test your memory on the rename command. So rename age as race, okay? And then you can press enter. And you can see the change there. Very straightforward question. Okay. Then we can move on to the next one. This is another straightforward question. I want to test your knowledge on the label variable combine. So earnings without the 1, then it must stand for nominal. Nominal earnings, and then age, province, race, gender. So we can do this one very quickly. Label variable earnings, it stands for nominal income, label variable age. Maybe I can give a proper description, age in years. Okay, label variable province. Perhaps out of curiosity, I can tap province to see if there's a label attached, and there's no label. Probably later there will be a question. I need to provide a label to describe what each category stands for. And then label variable, this is race, or you can say population group, so let's rather give such a description. And then finally, label variable gender, of course it stands for gender. Okay, next one. Describe, okay, just to refresh your memory again, describe all variables, so I only type one word, describe. Okay, so some general description on each variable. And gender currently is a string variable with a maximum number of 6 letters, so we can go to data editor. Indeed, in red font, so gender is currently a string variable. So later I probably want to create gender as a numeric categorical variable, which is exactly what 2.4 is all about. Assuming you hate string variable, please convert the string variable into a nominal categorical variable. So in other words, the encode command. Okay. So let's do that together. Encode gender, the text or the string variable. Then I generate a new variable. Let me call it. Let's stick with the question. XXX. Okay. Encode gender, comma, generate XXX. Let's go to the data editor. So you can see this one after the encoding, it is a numeric categorical variable. Again, I think the categories are sorted in alphabetical order. So female will be category 1, male category 2. So in other words, I can drop this string gender variable. So I think this is what the next question is all about. Still the same question. So I drop the string variable gender, and then now I can rename XXX as gender. Remember, for starter, we can't have 2 variables with exactly the same name appearing in the same data file at the same time. Okay, you see the changes here. Next one. I want to create real earnings, earnings 1, which is equal to nominal earnings divided by CPI at that time, 54.9 times 100. Okay, so remember the data set comes from 2007, but I want to have all the earnings in constant 2016 December prices, and this is the CPI. 54.9. So let me keep that in mind. So January earnings 1 equals earnings divided by CPI, which is 54.9 times 100. Okay, I must give a proper description. I will call it real income or real earning. It doesn't matter actually. Okay. 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 The next one, the note combine. You want to give a long explanation to real earnings. So let's just randomly type some words, okay, or some meaningless paragraphs. Note earnings 1. I'll just randomly type some letters, okay. The point is just to remember how to use the note combine. Okay, then you type note. Then you can see the note is coming back. So this is the note in connection with the earnings 1 variable. Next one, the age. Let's tap the age variable. It seems there is something wrong. Do you see there is no one age 34 years old? You see 33, then 35. I think the reason has to do with the typo error. We mistyped 34 as 344. No one can be 344 years old. So this is what 2.7 is all about. I want to use the replace command. Okay, so for 344, please change it back to the correct age, which is 34. So replace age, which is a numerical variable, age should be 34. If currently age is mistyped as 344. So remember, after the if, I need this double equal sign to specify the condition. And you clearly see 153 changes being made. Okay. If you still don't believe in this command, then tap age again. Okay. Look at the result here. 34 years old. And no one is age 344 years old. Okay. Next one. The ID question. Assuming you still remember that. Create a unique person ID, 5,000 observations. So generate ID equals underscore n. Generate ID equals underscore n. And then I can give a description. Just want to make it short and simple. I can say unique ID number. Okay, let's check the actual data set. You see each observation is given a unique ID. Okay, I hope you are still doing fine. Next one, it will be time consuming. The race and province. I want to provide a label and then apply this label on the race and the province variable respectively. So I will do this slowly. Remember, for this type of question, it involves 2 lines of command. So let's start with the race label. Label define race. So this is the name of the label. Category 1 stands for African. Category 2 stands for colored. Category 2 stands for Indian. And category 4 stands for white. If you think you are ready, you can press enter. Okay, and then the next line, I type the 2 keywords label values, race, and then the label race. It means starter. I'm telling starter, please apply this race label on the race variable. And then I can press enter, and now I can tap race. I should see the description of each category. Okay, 5,000 people in total. Okay, if you are happy with this one, we can do the same, but this time on the province. Label, define. Let me stick with the question. Okay, we prefer to type the full word. So this is the name of the label, province. 1 stands for Western Cape, 2 Eastern Cape, 3 Northern Cape, Free State, KwaZulu-Natal, Northwest, Gauteng, Mpumalanga, and then Limpopo. stop for 10 more seconds until everyone is ready, then we can press enter. Okay, and then the next one, label values, province. This is the name of the variable, and then followed by the name of the label, province, but in capital letters. Okay, so I think I can repeat one more time. This is my personal preference. For the variables, I always would use small letters, but then for the label, the name of the label, I would use capital letters so that I can distinguish the label from variables. Enter, and then now I can tap province. You can see the description for each category. Okay, I still owe you an explanation on how to show both the category number and the description at the same time. Okay, or the label at the same time. Okay, towards the end, I will provide you an explanation. And then the two-way tabulations, province and race. Tab province, race. Easy. Okay, next one. Province, race, but no frequency. Show the percentage share for each row. Okay, let's interpret that. Let's randomly interpret this one. Then it means for people staying in Limpopo, 97% of them are Africans, 3% from the white population group. And then maybe I randomly interpret Western Cape, 67 or close to 68% come from the colored population group, 19% are Africans, 13% are whites. Okay, next one. Again, two-way tabulation, but NOF rather show the percentage distribution for each column. Okay, so maybe I can interpret this column. It means for the Indian population, 3/4 of them live in KwaZulu-Natal, 17 or 18% live in Gauteng. And then similarly, for this column, Africans, 27% live in KwaZulu-Natal, 13% live in Eastern Cape. Okay. Next one, I don't know if you remember this, the order combined. Okay, ID, province, race, gender, age, then the two earnings variables. Okay, so order, I want the ID variable to appear first. Province, race, gender, I forgot where I must put age actually. Okay, behind gender, okay. Age, then nominal earnings, and then real earnings, okay? So still 7 variables in total. I just want to change the ordering of the variables. Then enter. Now you can see the change here. Okay. Now the last 3 questions are quite straightforward. 4 questions. Summary, real earnings in detail. So sum, earnings, 1, detail. In other words, in addition to minimum, maximum, mean, and standard deviation, I also want to know median and so forth. Variance, skewness, kurtosis. Okay, and then the last 3 question, list. I only want to see the first 100 observations. So list if ID is from 1 to 100. Okay, so list if ID is greater or equal to 1 and ID is smaller than or equal to 100. I think this is the first time you use the greater or smaller combine. Enter. Okay, then you can see these 100 observations. Okay, next one. The OR command, do you see this vertical line, the OR command? So I will only want to list the observations for race between either 3 or 4. So list if race equals 3, or you need the shift key. I hope you can find this key with the vertical line, but you need the shift key, or race equals 4. So it means only shows the observations coming from the Indian and the white population. Okay, you can see the white population, some Indian observations, and so forth. Okay. The last question that involves both and or only shows the first 10 observations and the last 10 observations. So list if ID between 1 and 10. Is it 10 actually? It is. Or ID 4991 up to 5,000. Okay, that's it.